News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. And we already are into our second hour of the show. All right, the United States Surgeon General, who we've heard very little from, is a man named Surgeon General Vivek Murthy. He today says that he wants to put a warning label on guns, like it's a pack of cigarettes. He says this is a health crisis, and that an urgent public health crisis approach is exactly what's needed. Guns can cause cancer. Guns cause HIV/AIDS. All right. Well, let's see what he means. Gun violence, which there's no such thing as gun violence. Guns don't jump up and commit violence. So guns being used in crimes, what he described falsely as gun violence, demands a public health approach rather than polarizing political response. Oh, so you're going to still get what you want, but now you're going to get it by calling it a health crisis. I guess my first question, without even getting into anything right now, is do you actually think that guns are a health crisis? Do you think guns cause any health crisis? Because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know? That's like, it's like saying being outside. I don't know. It's like saying something causes cancer when there's no chance of it causing cancer, you know? Continuing on, the Surgeon General says, I want people to know this is a profound public health crisis. But as a nation, we're not powerless. We can do something about it. His proposals, put warning labels on firearms. Why would you put a warning label on a firearm? Don't you think that if somebody needs a warning label on a firearm, warning this could hurt somebody or kill somebody, that you shouldn't be able to own a gun? I think if you need a warning label on it, it means you literally should not even own a gun. This is like telling people don't get into the shower with your hair curling iron. Don't bring your iron into the shower. Don't get your hair curler wet in the sink. What? Okay. Or caution, this plastic bag can asphyxiate you. Yes, if you tie it over your head and put it around your head, it can. Moron alert, right? Moron alert. What do you think? Do you actually think a warning label on a gun, put on guns, would actually help stop people from using firearms for crime? And do you think a ban on rifles? Oh, he's also saying the other thing is, he says, this is a public health crisis, so we need to put warning labels on firearms and reinstate the ban on assault weapons. There's no such thing as assault weapons. Weapons don't commit assaults. There's no such thing as an assault weapon. And how many of these idiots that want to take away your gun and my gun actually think AR stands for assault rifle and don't know their butt from a hole in the ground? These idiots couldn't get their way out of a paper bag for the basics with gun. They don't know the difference between a .223, a .556, a 9mm, a 40mm. And they want to take away stuff that they don't even understand or know. I don't want a label on there. If you need a label, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have a gun. You should be banned from having a gun. And I'm gonna take a long shot guess here and guess that Surgeon General Vivek Murthy doesn't even own one gun. 800-288-WBAP is her number. 800-288-9227. And he also says we need to reinstate the assault weapons ban, which did nothing to stop people from using rifles to kill each other or guns. It did nothing, and that was after 10 years of it being signed into law under Clinton. It's a joke. This is simply a way to go, it's health, and take away our gun rights the way they've been trying to do for 30 years. Let's go to Mike in Fort Worth, who's called in at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Thanks for listening to WBAP. Hey, Mike.
Hey, I appreciate you taking my call.
You're welcome.
You made a comment earlier about guns causing disease.
Yeah.
I don't think they cause cancer at all, but I do know that they do have some cases of lead poisoning.
Yes, they actually do. That's actually true. There could be some lead poisoning if you get shot. That's exactly right. I think that's a great point, and I thank you for that great idea. There we go. There we go. That was a great idea. Thank you, sir. And by the way, what do you think about taking away rifles? Oh, he left us already. Sir, you don't hang up on me. I hang up on you, sir. Have him call back in so I can hang up on him. Thank you. All right, 800-288-9227. Do you think gun warning labels on guns will help stop people from using their firearms for crimes? And do you think a ban on rifles, falsely called assault rifles, would actually help as well? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you think this guy owns one gun? No, I don't either. You will never take my AR-15 that I have. You will never touch it. You don't even see it unless I'm pulling it out to use it, and it better not be because you're trying to come hurt me, because you won't want to meet it. Continuing on. The NRA commented on this, called this advisory an extension of the Biden administration's war on law-abiding gun owners. That's exactly what it is. Quote, the reluctance to prosecute and punish criminals on the part of President Biden and many of his allies is the primary cause of that. Don't you agree? It's Joe Biden and his federal prosecutors and even his local prosecutors that he supports across the country that are refusing to put the criminals in jail and instead come after people like you and me. That's exactly what's happening. He won't go after the criminals, nor will the Democrats. They let them all go. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I got to say, this is one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard in my life. Do you think warning labels on guns would help stop people from using firearms for crime, or do you think a ban on rifles, falsely called assault rifles, would help as well? 800-288-WBAP. Hey, by the way, do you agree with me that if you need a warning label on a gun that you should not be able to buy one? If you want a warning label, if you ask for one, if you look for one, I think they should instantly take you off the list. You cannot own a firearm. It's like being a convicted felon. You cannot own a firearm. If you want a warning label, you cannot own a firearm. That means you're really stupid and you're going to kill somebody or yourself. Not because you want to, but because you're that stupid. You're that vapid. I swear to you, if you need a warning label, you're an idiot, should never touch a gun or be near one. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Okay. I want to get into this coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. Wait till you hear how many, this is pretty wild. What percentage, and we'll take some more gun calls if you have good gun calls too, by the way. But I'm going to put this into the mix also coming up next. What percentage of American electric vehicle drivers want to get rid of their EV and go back to gas cars? This is brand new, and I think this is going to stun you. I talked to the boss about this when he didn't even know the story came out. This is a fantastic story. What percentage of current EV users are going to sell their car and buy a gas car? They want their gas car back. That is next, as well as the gun stuff, on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Miner in Dallas is the first person out of the gate. We'll talk to you. Plus, your call, 3 lines open, 800-288-WBAP. Okay, let's go to Miner in Dallas. You're on. Let's see here. You're hi WBAP Miner. You're in Dallas. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Well, I'm a family doctor, and I just wanted to point out that I got the joke of the lead toxicity, but actually people who shoot frequently, especially indoors, or handle their own making their bullets and such, they can get lead toxicity.
Oh, no, come on. Are you trying to rain on our parade, sir?
Just wanted to point that out.
Okay, so that's good. Well, you got to be honest. What do you think? Is this a public health crisis? Do you think a warning label like cigarette packs is going to stop people from killing themselves or others?
I don't think so. But if I've had a few patients who had to have blood tests, and twice in 30 years I found someone whose lead levels were a little higher than they should be.
That's amazing. That guy, he must be making his own ammo.
I think he was, yeah.
There we go. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it very much. Always love when a doc's listening. Tom in Frisco, you're on. Let's see. Hi, what you got? WBAP, Tom.
Well, Chris, you have stated so well that it's not the gun that creates the violence. It's the person And these liberal judges and DAs and everything, they're letting these people out after they have shown they have a propensity to violence. I think we need to go back to putting tattoos on people's foreheads, maybe something that says, this person could be dangerous to your health. Warning.
I think that's a good idea. People can be dangerous to your health. That's true. A lot more than any inanimate gun. Thanks for your call, sir. Mark in Fort Worth, welcome to WBAP.
Yes, sir. Why would there be any need for a magazine over 10 rounds?
Why do I need to prove to you what my needs are when it's a right?
What reason would you have to have it over 10 rounds? I'm trying to understand that.
You don't need to understand it. It's a right. Do you ever ask somebody about why do you need to have so much free speech? Or why do you have to exercise it to the fullest extent? Why couldn't you trim it a little bit?
No, but I can't see why anybody would need over 10 rounds.
Okay.
Magazine.
Do you understand why it's? Do you think it's constitutionally or legally any of your business what we want to carry or what we have? As long as it's lawful to carry it.
Laws that
let me caveat that. As long as it's lawful to carry it.
Well, what you make is lawful. A machine gun, why is that illegal? I mean, why
machine gun's not illegal.
Over 10 rounds.
A machine gun's not illegal. My son and I have shot some.
It is illegal if you don't have the particular license for it.
Well, here's the deal. It's not illegal to own one. If you
if you don't have the particular license.
Is it a license or is it a stamp?
Well, whatever. A stamp, a license, same thing, isn't it?
So are you saying it should be illegal to have a machine gun?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because it is legal.
I'm saying that if machine guns should be licensed, stamped, whatever, why would you ever need over 10 rounds?
Well, that's my question for you. Why are you setting 10 as a limit? What makes 10 your special number? Can you tell me why that number is so special?
Because I can't see any reason except for killing, mass killing.
Well, why would you say that so are you the one that should determine like how many bullets we can carry?
Okay, well, what would you make it? Or you just say
I wouldn't make it anything.
Magazine?
I wouldn't make it anything. I don't. That's not a problem.
Well, I think that is.
Wait, hold on,
totally
Mark.
Ridiculous.
It's all good. It's all good to disagree with me, but listen, it's all good. But I'm just saying, where did you get 10 from? Why not 8 or 6?
Well, I believe the previous law was 10.
Which law is that in Texas?
No, what is it? The assault weapon law.
Assault weapon? Well, first of all, can you define an assault weapon?
I cannot, but Congress defined it about, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and do you know that most of the guns that you would point to and say that are, quote, an assault weapon were legal still?
I realize that. I'm a gun owner. I have many guns. I just don't understand these mass killings.
What kind of? Do you have handguns?
With magazines that have way over 10 rounds.
Calm down, sir. Do you carry firearms, or do you have a handgun?
I have a concealed carry permit. Yes.
Okay. Do you carry one?
Yes.
All right. May I ask what it is and how many rounds it holds in the chamber and in the magazine?
I usually carry a 5-shot Smith & Wesson.
A 5-shot?
Yes, one of the little Chief.
Gosh, that's ridiculous. Let me say this. I'm just in my humble opinion. I bought one that has 1 in the chamber and 12 in the magazine. I carry 13 in my in the weapon. Do you think that should be illegal? It's a Taurus. Do you think that should be illegal?
Right now, it shouldn't be, but I don't see why anybody that's carrying it for self-defense would need 10 rounds.
I'll tell you why. Because could you see a situation where you might wish you had a few more rounds? I mean, do you think the cops should be disallowed? Because they have 17, as last time I heard, typically. Is that too many for you?
No reason with the police carrying whatever they want.
So let me ask you this.
What I'm worried about
would you change the law? Would you change the law to prevent me from carrying 13 rounds on me in my gun?
Not if you already have it, but I don't see any reason to sell.
It's okay. You've made that clear you don't want to. I'm just trying to see. So then you wouldn't come and take my gun from me because it holds 13.
Hell no.
So listen, relax. You would. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. You would stop me from buying that next gun. This is the same one.
I would stop you buying that gun with the magazine that it would hold.
And your reasoning is...
They have sold those in the past.
Your reasoning, though,
where
is...
you can have a 15-round gun.
Yeah.
The magazine will only hold the 10 rounds.
You know enough to know that the gun, the longer the more the rounds hold, the more likely the gun is to jam, right?
No, I don't.
You didn't know that?
No.
Do you know the idiots who try to commit mass shootings and have those round barrels on both sides? It's round, like a number 8 or figure 8. Those idiots, it's like 100 in each drum. Those idiots are the first ones to jam. Those are literally, that's how you jam a gun, by putting those stupid, ridiculous things on there. That leads you to be jamming yourself much, much, much more likely. So
I haven't seen many.
I have 30 rounds in my
done like that.
My AR-15. That I have. I've got 4 magazines that hold 30 each. Would you take that away from me too?
No, I have an AR-15 that holds 20 rounds.
Okay, mine holds 30. Would you ban the 30? Would you ban the 31 that I have?
In the future, yes.
Dang, bro.
I see no reason.
Okay, it's none of your business, and you are not. You don't you understand, sir? Though I'm not trying to be rude here, but you literally have no say in what I can carry, and you never will. You're not God.
I don't.
You're not the whole Congress.
Could.
Yeah, but that's the whole Congress. You are not the whole of Congress. I'm just offended. I'm not mad at you.
I'm not saying that.
I know.
Because I said it. It should have to be done. I'm saying I see no reason for it.
Right. And I'm offended.
And I don't see why they don't pass legislation.
Right. Okay. And I'm offended that somebody would want to take away my guns or not sell me certain guns because you don't like it. You're uncomfortable.
I'm not trying to take anything.
You are trying to take anything that holds more than 10 rounds. Yes, you are. More than 10 rounds.
I did not say anything about coming and taking your magazines away from me.
Gotta roll. You didn't. Thank you very much. What you did say is you don't want me to ever buy, and none of us to ever buy, something that holds more than 10 rounds. And I say you're an arbitrary person. You're being arbitrary on that, and you're making up stuff, and you're just coming up with a number that you don't like, and that is dangerous. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Okay. Very interesting what went down there. The last caller, I was not mad at the guy, but it's outrageous. It offends me to say, well, what do you need more than 10 rounds for? What business is it of yours of what I carry and what I don't carry? I will carry whatever I want. And he didn't have a retort for, have you ever called on limits for First Amendment? Like, have you ever called on culling people's First Amendment rights? Why do you need to speak out so much? Why do you need to speak out so freely? Why do you need to share your opinion with people? Why do you need to be so political, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Do we want to go there? Do we want to go to where there's a law that I didn't even know existed in Canada that there's a hate speech law. If you say something that they count as hate speech, which could be not blessing the LGBTQIA++ agenda, that you can go to jail. And the same thing in London, that is a law. If you say anything, you can read Churchill's quotes on Muslims. You can read what Churchill said on Muslims, or on it's Churchill, and the other one is I think it was Churchill actually. But there's a man who stood out and read it, what Churchill wrote about Islam, and was arrested in England for it. I mean, this is insane. Do you want that? Because that's what you're saying when you say there's no reason you should have more than 10 rounds. I am King so-and-so, and I'm the new arbitrary person, and I arbitrarily come up with the law. No, you know what? I say 9 bullets. Let's pass 9 bullets. No, let's say 8 bullets. And that man can carry a gun that carries 5 rounds. I will never carry a gun that carries 5 rounds. I have at least 13 rounds ready to go when I'm carrying. which is always. And the reason why is because my thought is if I need more than 13, then I don't need to, I need to run and get out. But you don't know if if you got people that are trying to carjack you and you get in a shootout, you want more than 13. And I'll tell you what, when the Black Lives Matter, when they were worshiping St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, when he died from a drug overdose in the custody of Minneapolis police and people were rioting here and blocking traffic, you better believe I was concerned about those terrorists coming in, those socialist, Marxist, godless, communist, marriage-hating, Christian-hating, Marxist Nazis and terrorists were taking over. You better believe I had extra rounds with me, because I'm like, if some crowd stops me and they want to drag me into my car and kill me or whatever, that stuff's been happening. It happened in Austin. I ain't looking for nothing, but if I get stopped and people are trying to, drag me out of my car, I'm going to be prepared for it. There was a guy whose head was bashed in with a rock a block from where I'm at, sitting here right now during the St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, riots. My job is to take care of myself, and my job is not to think that the government's going to protect me, because they won't. And our police want to protect us, but they won't be there for 4 to 8 minutes, and by then you're dead or carjacked, etc. I don't want to be in a situation where I don't have enough ammo. It's that simple. And I will do whatever I feel like I'm doing under the law. It's none of your business. The day you start asking how many rounds I have because you want to stop it is the day I tell you to bleep off. I won't say it that way, but I want to say it. I'll feel like that. You're offending me. It's offensive. And you could say, well, I have 50 guns. I don't care how many guns you have. I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear anybody try to take away my limits on anything. And that gentleman, I don't doubt he's a multi-gun owner and all this kind of stuff, but it's so offensive. I'm sorry. It's just really, I'm not sorry, actually. I'm just so offensive to me. All right. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. The Surgeon General wants to put a label on guns that guns can hurt you or people. Don't you agree with me that if you need a label warning you on a gun, you're too stupid to buy it and you shouldn't be able to have one, literally? If you don't realize a gun will kill you if you point it at the wrong thing, then you shouldn't have a gun ever. All right, we got 3 lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Do you think warning labels will help stop people from using firearms for crime and for crime? And do you think a ban on rifles, falsely called assault rifles, would help as well? Which one first? Ken in Arlington. Then we'll go to Buddy in Dallas. Ken, welcome to WBAP.
Hey, when they put warning labels on the illegals crossing the border, that's when we need the warning labels on guns.
Yes, warning. This person may rape and kill your 12-year-old daughter.
Right.
Warning, this person may rape your 13-year-old in broad daylight at a park and cut off her clothes with a knife and then tape the raping on his phone and then get caught in New York City. Mm-hmm. Warning, this person may rape a gorgeous mother of 5 who's jogging on a trail in Maryland and then murder her after raping her. Warning. Warning, this man who's Tren de Aragua, who is by UGA, who bashes in Laken Riley's head, may bash in your daughter's head. Who was a peeping Tom earlier in the day, by the way, at the dorms. So warning, Joe Biden's illegals kill people. Warning, these 2 Haitians that were flown in by Joe Biden direct into Boston. This one raped an adult, mentally disabled one. This one raped a 14, 15-year-old child in Massachusetts. Warning.
Well, there's already warning labels on guns, though. I mean, when you buy a gun that has over a 10-round magazine, it says, warning, this gun is illegal in California.
Shut up. There. It says that right there?
Yeah.
When did that start? That's funny. So wait a minute. Our last caller, who I don't doubt he's not probably votes the way we vote most of the time, he literally wants to do it California. He sees what Gavin Newsom has done and wants to do that. That scares me. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, because if you have a mag that's a 17-round mag, you're in violation in California because they only have 10-round magazines.
Let me tell you, my entire family lives in the state of Illinois and Chicagoland, and let me tell you something. It is so ridiculous what they cannot get there that we can get here. It's embarrassing for them. It's embarrassing. Right. You only can be law enforcement to get a shotgun that is it's kind of like a semi-automatic shotgun that law enforcement officers can get, but we can get it here no problem. I mean, it's embarrassing. It really is. It's sad. It's like the children in those blue states. Okay, Buddy in Dallas, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM, or should I say WBAP. Buddy in Dallas, hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Very good. Regarding that last caller.
The one who was trying to say, why would you want to have more than 10 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years ago, the Fort Hood shooter was using an FN-57,
okay,
which was a 30-round clip.
Okay.
Okay. When I'm protecting myself or my family, I don't care. I do not want to be limited by anything.
Right.
I want to have as many rounds as I think I need.
That's right.
To protect myself and my family.
Because
if it's 100 rounds,
yes,
that's fine.
Because that caller is not going to jump in and save you with his 5 bullets.
I know. And then the other thing is how many bad guys,
follow the law.
If it's one guy, hopefully you can get him with 10 rounds. But if you didn't, and there's 3 of them or 4 of them, which a lot of them they'll go in packs. Another reason. So
you are brilliant because let's. You are so good with your response to him, buddy. And here's the thing. Let's turn it around. What you're saying is basically you want 10 rounds only for us, which is shameful. Now, how about how many do you want if you got 2 terrorists shooting up a location and you're in the back and you can't get out? How many do you want? You want 5 or do you want 25? Would you rather have 30 or 10?
I want as many as I can get my hands on.
That's exactly right.
To protect myself and my family.
At that point, 100, yes. And at that point, I wish I had every magazine that I owned for that firearm, and that way I could have 36. That way I could have 36 on me. Boom.
Exactly.
Lock and load. Kill them all.
Yep.
I'll kill all the terrorists, that is to say.
Yep.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. What a splendific. I'm making up words. What a splendid call that was. I swear to you, that was a great call. Well, let's see how Lee in Bradford does coming up next on the Chris Crock Show with his stance on whether or not we should have to give some kind of a rationale for how many rounds we carry with us or how many rounds we can fit in a magazine or in the chamber. And what he thinks about warning labels on guns. The Surgeon General says we need a healthcare approach. We got to do what Biden wants and the Democrats want, but now we're going to say it's under healthcare. We need to ban rifles that we call assault rifles, even though there's no such thing. And we need to put a warning label on guns for idiots. All right, that is coming up next. 3 lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227 on the Chris Crock Show. And then we're getting into EVs. You're not going to believe how many EV owners say they no longer want their EV. They want to sell it and buy a gas car again. Watch out. That's next. I do believe one of the first ever interviews of live television interviews of Jocelyn Nungre's mom and dad, mom and grandfather, just happened earlier tonight on Hannity, and I will be playing highlights from that for you in the next hour. That will be something we get into in the next hour. I promise I'll be more detailed on the timing. I might even bump it up to 10 or 10:15, depending on time allowed. But I'll cut it up. You'll hear it. Because she does go after the president's handling of immigration, illegal immigration. She does. And her father, the grandfather of Jocelyn Nungre, does too. That's got to be the first live interview of television that I've seen, in real time. That's coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. But first, let's go right back to people calling in about guns. We had a caller that insisted he says there's no reason to have more than 10 rounds. He wants to do what California did and pass a law that disallows us, even though he is a Texas gun owner. And I think that's ridiculous, and I think it's angering. And it's offensive to me. It's offensive. That's a better word for it. It's very offensive to me, highly offensive to me. And it is angering that somebody want to limit my Second Amendment rights, which they have no business doing. And he kept insisting, why do you need more than 10 rounds? And my answer is, it's none of your damn business. Excuse my language. It's none of your damn business why I need what. Why do you need less than 10 rounds? I wanted you explain that to me, because that's all I need. Great, buddy. If you're in a situation you want more rounds, you're screwed. That's your choice. not me. Don't you ever put me in a situation like that. You will not affect my safety, especially when our last caller mentioned the Fort Hood terrorist, Major Nidal Hassan, a good man practicing his alleged peaceful radical Islamic faith, and he had 30 rounds. So I'm supposed to let him have 30 while I have 10? Are you kidding me? That's a joke. That's a disgrace. Okay. Plus, the Surgeon General says, let's take away guns and put warnings on labels on guns like it's cigarettes. Warning labels and ban rifles that are called assault rifles falsely. Yeah. All right. Let's go. We got 3 lines open. 800-288-WBAP. 800-288-9227. Lee and Bradford, you're on. Let's see. You're on WBAP. Hello.
Chris, how are you?
Good. How are you?
As far as the warning labels, what federal agency is in control of the warning labels that go on things?
Oh, I'm sure it's the FDA, right?
That simply opens the door to federal regulations.
That's it.
To all firearms.
That's exactly right. Good call. Well done.
As far as the magazines, I put feed out for cattle, and wild hogs show up there to eat my feed. If there's 30 of them, 10 rounds is not going to kill all 30 of those hogs.
Right. How many rounds do you typically carry on that?
Generally 50.
That's nice. Why do you need 50? You should only have 10. Pew, 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 pew.
The flip side of that is if law enforcement says you can only have 10 rounds, what's going to stop the criminals from having
They
more?
Won't listen.
Exactly.
They're going to kill us the same way.
Exactly.
So what the man really is saying earlier is, I want to neuter you in a fight with a terrorist who has 10, 20, 30, 40 rounds, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to neuter you, Chris.
Regulate the law enforcing, the law enforce people that follow the law.
Yes.
But
not the terrorists and criminals, right, and thugs.
Yes.
Appreciate your great call. Candace in California, you're on 820 AM and now. Well, I got to say it differently. There's 6 different ways I got to say it. I'm going to do this one. What's up, WBAP? Hi, Candace.
Hey, Chris. I do live in California now. I live
in
the far northern. I live in me too. It's like a freaking foreign country. And I had a CCL in Texas, and now I'm trying to get my CCW in California. And I live in a pretty conservative, the most conservative county in the state. The thought process here, and that guy was infuriating me.
I don't want to rush this. I don't want to rush this. Can you hold? I don't want to rush you because we have to go in a second. But you can hold. I can take it back on in a second. In a few.
Sure,
okay.
That's fine.
Stand by. I want to hear this badly, very much, because he's shepherding us that way. The gentleman that called in from Texas here tonight, and I think that's exactly right. All right, we'll continue with this. I'm going to bump up the Jocelyn Nungare parents and mom and grandfather interview from Sean Hannity tonight. I'll pull audio of that and we'll play it coming up next as well when we wrap this up. Next on the Chris Crock Show, WBAP.